Now on Bounce, two creative minds thought that there was a need for more of an immigrant voice in the podcast world. So they did something about it, and they created 1stGens podcast. They are here to tell us about it. I want to welcome Perrine DeShield, the creator and co-host, as well as Sky Wilson, also a co-host of the 1stGens podcast. Nice to have you both here.
We're so happy to be here.
Yeah, I can tell. First, let's talk about why you guys wanted to create this podcast.
Well, so Sky and I both are like huge fans of podcasts. We've always loved podcasts. While we were undergrads at UNC Chapel Hill, we both did broadcast. And so we're kind of coming back to our roots in that sense. But we saw a huge void in like the podcast realm as far as certain topics. And we just wanted to fill that void and be a voice for people, not just first-generation Americans, but people trying to just figure out their identity.
And there's a listening party that is coming up actually tomorrow. Yes. Let's talk about who is invited.
Yeah, so it's open to the public. Any and everyone can come. We are actually doing a finale for our first season and kind of welcoming in our second season.
Okay.
We'll be going back to Liberia for the very first time, so we're very excited about it. So we're going to have a little like teaser for folks if they're interested, and we're going to have some great food there and some really wonderful sponsors as well. Yeah.
So you guys, that is your roots. You guys are Liberian,
yes.
But again, first generation American. Okay,
yep.
Got it. My best friend is Liberian, so that must be so exciting.
So cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and my husband is Kenyan. Yes. And it must be so exciting for you guys to be going for your first trip back to Liberia.
Like first adult, like I went as a baby, but obviously like you don't really take things in. And so like Sky and I were just talking about it, and I just feel like I've dreamt about Liberia. It's not just like the pictures and the stories that we've heard from our family members over time, but it's just, I don't know, it's home.
Yeah.
It's home. It's a really hard way to explain it, but we just want to be able to share the stories of young people in Liberia and show parallels with young people here in America and show that, you know, being an American is not so black and white, but being a first-generation American is a little bit more complicated.
Right.
So.
I can only imagine. I went to Kenya with my husband last summer. It was my first time there, and it was just incredible to see his homeland and to get to know that side of him. So I can only imagine your excitement. Let's talk about some of the topics you guys have had with the podcast this season.
I think one of our biggest ones was the dating episode. It's been a tough road dating as a first-generation American. So I think that's the one that we've been getting a lot of plays on the most.
Yeah, so dating, education was huge. Also, we had a topic of religion, freedom of religion, and then I think something a lot of like millennials can relate to is just loving what you do and trying to figure out your career path. And sometimes you may pick a career path that's a little not paved as far as like what your parents would want, and kind of still trying to do what you love.
Okay. What are your plans for season 2?
Season 2, we're going back home. We're going to Liberia.
We're going to Liberia.
We're going to share the story with any and everyone.
And quickly, the significance of Liberia in American history.
Yes. So Liberia was actually colonized by slaves who were freed and returned back to Africa.
Wow.
So our flag, the Liberian flag, is red, white, and blue. It has stripes. It just has one star. It's very similar to the Texan flag. But there's, from the government to speaking English, there's so many parallels with Liberia and America.
Unreal. The listening party is at the new indoor event space at Camp North End. That's along Statesville Avenue. It's free, but you can donate for these ladies' trip back home to Liberia. You can also follow 1stGens on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We put all of this information on WBTV.com. Check out the Web Extras section. Perrine, Sky, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah, all the best with the listening party tomorrow. Thanks for watching at home, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.